Is this still happening? Is it not live? Oh, shoot. All right. And we are live. Wow. My mistake, everybody. I forgot to hit the button. All right, but now that we are going, thank you, Jake. Maybe you can tell me whether or not you can hear the music, whether or not you can hear the microphone, all that good stuff. So, what we are doing is I owe my buddy Mike O'Connor over at Thinking DM, brilliant blog, probably one of the best out there. I owe him a custom monster mini. He is going to send me some mango jelly in the mail, allegedly. If you're watching this, Mike, I am following through. So he gave me so I made him this custom monster mini yesterday. I'm not good at crafting, like it's not really my forte of mine, but I had a lot of fun doing it. Let me go ahead and shine some light right here. Maybe you can see this a bit better. So it's a weird beetle monster with a quadruple claws and a little scorpion stinger. It's on a 3x3 base. Like I said, it's not it's not the best crafted thing ever, but I had a lot of fun making it. And I think when he puts it down on his table, his players are going to be absolutely delighted by it. Hopefully you can see it there. Ooh, Z Charles. Jake, thank you so much for telling me that I was off. I forgot to hit the go button on YouTube. I hit it on OBS, but not on YouTube. So I already did a little bit of work. So I started out just a generic stat block that I had for the Painted Dragon left over from the Killers of the King stream, a custom monster that I made. And now I'm going through and changing it. So go ahead and change this text to like red or something, so you folks at home know this is all stuff from the last monster. Yeah, it was a Painted Dragon. Very cool. And so what I decided already is I'm going to call this thing a Scorpio Beetle with that kind of funky spelling. And it's a huge monstrosity. That's about it. I know it has some story behind it. But I didn't start there yet. What I started with was just assigning the stats. So I decided that I wanted to have big and strong. And the first major decision that I made was, what was his proficiency bonus going to be? Was it going to be +3 or +4? Did I want to have a +9 to hit or a +8 to hit? And I figured that if I'm making him a custom monster mini, he's going to want to use it at the table for a long time, so it's got to be a nice hardy monster. So I decided to give it a +4 proficiency bonus. And then I went through and just assigned the rest of these stats. I decided I wanted to be able to save in strength and con, and I think the -4 +1 -1 is about right for a giant crab scorpion beetle monster. One other thing is, if you sort of look at its face, like it's sort of like a Muppety thing. I didn't give it eyebrows or anything, so the eyes are sort of bulging out, and it is, dare I say, a little cute. So I'm not quite sure if I want to make this an evil monster right out of hand. The other thing I decided was I wanted to have AC 18 because I'm thinking of this beetle caprice that's, this chitinous, thick chitinous plates all over it. So I wanted to give it an AC 18. And now I'm trying to think of what hit points it should have. Not a beast. I think beasts are more natural animals or magically natural animals. Monsters are, monsters. Monstrosity. So I guess another way of thinking of that is, would I want Charm Beast or Dominate Beast to work on this thing? Or do I want Dominate Monster to work on it? And I think the answer is Dominate Monster. Good question though, Jake. That's one of those things I just did right on instinct, but now that you ask, I feel like I sort of have to defend and sort of like probe my own thought process, which is the fun part of doing this. So hit points. It is a bug. So maybe 106 is not bad. If you have a high armor class, 106 hit points is not really all that much for something with a +4 proficiency bonus. So that's probably right there. Okay, speed 40 feet. Yes, it is huge. It's a 3x3, so 40 feet makes sense. Fly, no. Should it have a burrow speed? You know what? No, it's gonna have spider climb. Spider climb. Yeah, 40 feet. I think normally put spider climb in the traits, but I think it'll be helpful just put it right there. Okay, does it have any resistances? You know what? Before we get into that, I think we have to go figure out what the story of this thing is. All right. Can it speak? I would say no. No languages. Good questions. Let's go ahead and eliminate. Sorry, I'm trying to get it so I have the color tab visible on my screen. Okay, languages, none. All right, so how does this thing come about? Is it, where is it native to? It's purple and it's shiny. Like, look at this thing. Like, it's got like a little sparkly glitter in its caprice. So maybe it's from the Shadowfell. Maybe it's from the Feywild. Oh, that would be cool. Normally when people think of the Feywild, they think of the surface. But surely in the Feywild, there's got to be like caves and burrows and underground things. So maybe this is a monster from the Feywild. Oh, let's put that in question marks right there and come back to it later. Ooh. We'll make that bright purple. I like that color. Is it Fey? We can say that has two types. It's a monster. Why not? Hey there, Jetalo. Ooh, Jetalo. Drew, thanks for stopping in. Did you see this on the Discord? Thank you so much for being an active member in the Discord, Drew. I really appreciate that. You're one of the people that makes the community really thrive there. All right. So resist. Yeah, let's go ahead and put it right here in the story bit. It's in the Feywild. Subterranean. Ooh. All right. Is the music coming through all right for you folks? I had to sort of jerry rig it. Isn't the Feydark a thing? You know what? I don't know. I am not like a big person on Forgotten Realms lore. But yeah, I sort of like that. All right, the Feywild Subterranean. I think it has like a magical shell. A magical caprice. Like the Tarask, maybe? Possibly. That'd be kind of fun. That could bounce magic back. There's something unexpected you don't get to do a whole lot of. Is there another creature that does that? The flail snail, maybe? Or is that just an anti-magic effect? I forget. But I kind of like that. I think that's kind of different. All right. So resist. All right. If hit with the line spell or magic missile, roll a d6. On a roll of 5, the spell bounces off harmlessly. Harmlessly. On a 6, it rebounds towards the caster. That's cool. I know that most often it's going to get hit with area effect spells. So you know what? Let's go ahead and make this a roll of 4 or 5. Okay. Because we want this thing to go off. That's kind of a cool idea. I like that. I like that. Okay. Skills. Does this thing have any skills? No. So let's go ahead and just delete this line. Languages, none. Okay, does it have any special traits? So that's what this thing would probably be right here. It's actually not a resistance, it's a special trait. Let's put that down right here and give it a name. Magic Caprice. Caprice? Is that how you spell with a C? Is that even the right word? Goodness. Maybe someone smarter than me in the chat will let me know. I made the monster from Sculpey. Anson, if you check my channel, I have a playlist of bad monster minis. You can make an owlbear, you can make an ooblex. Like, I have all sorts of, like, really bad crafts that I make. Missile. Okay. Carapace. Thank you, Drew. Yeah, I didn't think Caprice was actually correct the white word there. Carapace. Haha. Smarter every day, people. Alright, actions. Okay, so it has a claw. It has 2 of them, right? So its multi-attack would be the Scorpio Beetle. Makes 3 attacks. 2 with its claws. Oh. And 1 with its tail. With an attack roll. Yeah, you know what? Yep, with a line spell or a spell that makes an attack roll. That requires an attack roll. Well, hold on. Okay, so let's think about that. Classic use of an attack roll offensive spell is inflict wounds. And inflict wounds, that doesn't really quite mesh. We can make it magic resistance against attack rolls, maybe. You know, maybe we can make a separate clause. Okay. If targeted by a spell that requires an attack roll, ranged attack roll. Roll a d6. On a roll of 4 or higher, the spell has no effect. And the Scorpio Beetle regains 1d6 hit points. More than that. 1d10 hit points per spell level. Oh man, this is pretty nasty. All right, so the question is this becoming too much? I think the answer, yes, exactly, Jake. What's this thing's weakness? Oh, then just sign strikes based around that. That's an interesting way of doing it. Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna sit on this and see if it's too much, but maybe not. I think that might be fun. I think we might want to leave that in there. Okay, so it doesn't really have any resistances. We can say it's resistant to slashing damage. Okay, so this thing does not have a lot of hit points, but it has a lot of other defenses from non-magic weapons. Okay, cool. Okay, so it's claw plus 9 to hit. Reach 5 feet? No way. This thing's reach is at least 10 feet, maybe 15 feet. One target hit. 4d6 plus 5 piercing. Why 4? Because if you look at the mini again, you can see that each claw has 1, 2, 3, 4 little points on it. Logic. All right. See, what I did here is I just started out with the mini I made. And I'm sort of building, working backwards. And I made the mini just on pure inspirational instinct. I was just hanging out with my friends. I run my brand new gaming table. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. Check it out on, I posted some pictures on Twitter and on Discord. Fantastic. Ooh. My loving wife gave it to me. Okay. So that's the claw. That's 14. 14 plus 5 is 19. Ooh. Good stuff. Make that black. Bite? No, it's got a tail. Tail stinger. See, I feel like this is a dexterity weapon. But whatever. Plus 9 to hit. Reach 10 feet. One target. Hit. Okay, so how much damage does it want to do? I think I want to have the poisonous stinger. Or you know what? If it were a normal scorpion, it would have a poisonous stinger. But it is a Feywild scorpion. So I think it would have a sleep stinger. I think that might be a little bit... You know what? Yeah, we'll do it like that. You are poisoned, and while poisoned this way, you are asleep. Awesome. That's nasty. Okay. Tail stinger puts you into gentle sleep. Okay. Okay, reach 10 feet, one target, hit. 2d10 plus 4. I think that's probably appropriate. 2d10 plus 5. See, are there weapons in the game that require, if you're doing range, it has to be a dexterity, but there's no melee that would require a dex. I would think that the tail would be dexterity, but... Yeah, I think that's sort of what we're going for a little bit with the theme of the Magic Caprice. I think that's sort of the signature feature going on here. And so we're building everything else around that. Now that it's like really, really powerful defensively. And I think the low hit points might be its weakness. Like everything considered, 106 hit points is not very much for a creature that can do all this other stuff. Okay, 2d10 plus 5. Piercing damage plus... damage. And the target must make a DC 8 plus 4 is 12. 12 plus 5, 17. Or be poisoned. Poisoned. While poisoned in this way, the creature is also knocked asleep. The creature is also asleep. The creature falls asleep. At the end of each of his turns. Oh, that's awesome. So you can wake it back up again, but the creature's going to fall back asleep. Oh, this thing is nasty. Yeah. If awoken, yeah. The creature can be shaken awake as an action, or if it takes any damage, but at the end of each of its turns, it falls asleep again. There we go. Oh. Nice. Narcoleptic Sting. Nice. Much better than Tail Stinger. Much better name. Narcoleptic. Man, I am not famous for my spelling or typing. Okay. Next two with the tails. Okay. So you know what? We'll give it the either or, right? Because being able to do all three of those on each turn is probably a little bit too much. Okay. Oh. Yeah. Or, okay, yep, that's fine. So the thing is that I'm writing this for, thinking DM, so I kind of want the language to be absolutely perfect, because that's the sort of thing he'll like subtly judge me on, just because, we're both really into that sort of thing. But at the same time, I don't want to get all specific right here on stream. I don't want to get all super, super noodly, because the language for this could definitely be cleaned up a little bit. You know what? What I'll do before is I print it off and send this to him. I will post it on my $1 Patreon. Link in the description. Okay. So all this is really, really fun. Good for us. Go team. Make that black. Okay. So this may or may not be too much. I'm still up in the air on that. Okay. Color breath. Nope. So the Painted Dragon from the stream did something really cool. It had, instead of like a normal breath, it did like prismatic spray. We got to roll in the little color table to see stuff. Very fun stuff. Very cool. Okay. Does this build need anything else? I'm not sure. I think this is okay. So maybe I'll go ahead and try to write some prose here. Yes. Titanic. Insectoid. Toid. That lives in the vast caverns under the sunny meadows of the Feywild. Yeah. So I need to have a subject here, or a verb. The Scorpio beetle is hunted by the foolish for its carapace. Okay. Dealing super deadly damage. It's more likely to just get away. I think that's sort of it, right? That it's not an evil monster. It's unaligned. So Oshai just wants to sort of get away. Okay. Highly prized by wizards and mage smith armorers. So you know what? This is lore getting a little kind of... There is a flail snail, right? I sort of forget, like, its shell is like anti-magic or something. Like, I've read it once. I'm not even sure if I've ever read it. I think I just watched the Matthew Perkins sort of geek out over it, how much he liked it. Shucks. See, that's the thing. It almost feels like I'm cheating now. Now that I'm conscious that there's something else kind of similar. But I like it. Okay, so maybe not being hunted. No, you know what? I kind of like it because it just tries to get away. And yeah, it's narcoleptic with stinger. It makes it really easy for it to just like sting you and then scurry away. That's like its tactics. So you know what? Yeah, let's write about some tactics, right? It likes to run. Let's write that up here in the weird prosy bits. Make it purple. Okay, tactics. It likes to sting and run. It rarely grapples. It's prey with its claws. Preferring to sting and run. Okay. Sting and run. It really grapples not its prey. Pursuers. Yeah. You know what? Let's make it funny, right? Okay. So here's an idea, right? So despite its massive claws, the Scorpio beetle uses them to crush rocks. The Scorpio beetle uses them. Lucas, thank you for tuning in. I'm not really sure if I have any more sword and sorcery tips to give. Like, if you want Seth, his channel is great. He does a lot of reviews of like the Conan Barbarian role-playing game. So he probably has a lot of stuff on his channel that might be of interest to you. Like, he reviews lots of other systems. He's a big Call of Cthulhu fan, but he does a lot of time delving into the Conan the Barbarian role-playing game. So he might be the person to give you more information. Maybe if I were to do a sequel way down the line, it'd probably be about like mythic style play. Like how to have like high level characters in a mythic setting rather than a high magic, high fantasy setting. So it doesn't use its claws. It's an herbivore? Yeah, it's an herbivore. To grasp and dig out giant mushrooms. Yes! Haha! Yes. And cut giant mushrooms. That grow in the caverns. Yeah. Oh, awesome. Okay. This is fun. It's an herbivore. Yeah. Uses its massive claws. Okay, so now we're writing a little bit more claws. We're now writing a little bit, more prose here. Intimidating. despite the appearance. Intimidating claws. Intimidating appearance. Appearance. Despite its intimidating appearance, the Scorpio beetle is an herbivore. All right, is an herbivore. Okay. It uses its massive claws to cut the giant mushrooms. Awesome. Cool. All right, so it's sort of a peaceful creature that everyone's after for its shell. Okay, this is becoming fun now. Now we're making progress. Yeah. It has its chitin, chitin. Has properties that resist and reflect magic. It's a symbiotic relationship like a hermit crab. Oh! The spores release and attach to the crab, which then carries it to new places. Okay, cool. See, the mushrooms can't grow on its back because I'm not skilled enough to make little tiny mushrooms. Oh, you know what? I probably could make lots of little tiny mushrooms, or I could paint them on like lichen. Oh man, now this is getting intense. This is getting intense. Okay. Okay. Cool. There we go. All right. Awesome. Sting and run. Yeah. Awesome. Oh, that's another. Oh, man. Do I want to do something like that, too? Like, if you touch it. See, that's not a bad idea. Except for there's already a lot of things that it has going on. Makes 2 attacks with its claws. I think this is... Alright. So what's it going to do on turn 1? It's going to try to use the stinger on somebody. Bam. Then it's going to get beat up a little bit. Pop, 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 pop. Someone might hit with the spell and realize we can't do that. They're going to start fireballing it. Okay. Making the save. Yeah. That could be it, right? Or... yeah, it has spores all over it. Symbiotic spores. Because, right, we don't want them to just be able to fireball this thing. So, let's write some pseudotext here. We want... What we're after in the storyline, if the spores are disturbed, Those in the area. See, we already have the stinger that makes people fall asleep. So what do the spores do? Do the spores burn? Do the mushrooms start sprouting? No. Those in the area, something happens to them? Okay. Maybe chat can help me out here, right? So the way the stinger works is it works through the poisoned condition and it makes you fall asleep, essentially. Like, constantly. An affected creature can repeat the saving throw at the start of each of his turns to end the effect. To end being poisoned, but you're still asleep. Okay. Hallucinatory terrain. Dense fog. Yeah. I like that one, right? Okay. The spores make an illusory fog. Or sparkling fog. Okay. Blinds. Okay. So if the thing... Okay, so if it takes any... If it takes damage, is that how we want to do it? Oop. I lost my power source. Just melted away. So we want to do it if it takes fire damage. Takes fire damage. Or, see, is that kind of cheap? No. Yes. Because it doesn't make sense for them to get a lot of heat to make them spurt out. It'd have to be like physical damage. Blunt or pierce. Yeah. Flying bogs in, I don't know, 20 feet, let's say. DC 17 con save. Or blinded. Repeat. End of turn. To end effect. Okay. So I think maybe one of these two. Like either all the spells or this. I'm not sure if I want to do both. Because we actually want to make this monster runnable, right? I don't want dude to get a hold of this and be like, oh my gosh, this is way too complicated. No fun. Sneeze uncontrollably. So if they were normal mushrooms, yeah. Oh, but you know what? If this is underground, blinding doesn't make much sense. Yeah. Sparkling is cool. You know what? Maybe it does, because that's the defense mechanism. Like, nothing in the underground is used to being... They used to be on the dark. Also, this bright light would blind them. Yeah. And I like that because it's a bit more magical. If this were a normal beetle, like in the regular world, Then sneezing uncontrollably would be nice. But I'm going this more magical touch to it. And I kind of like the sparkling blinding fog. I imagine like little like sparklers going off all the time. Vulnerable. Oh, if you miss. That's a good one, Drew. See, Thinking DM, he is not a beginner dungeon master, of course. He is an absolute expert. So stuff like that might amuse his players. Takes fire damage. Okay. Or melee attack. Weapon attack. Misses by 5 or more. There you go. That is not a terrible idea. I kind of like that. Thanks, Drew. Yeah, no, this is working out. Okay. And so maybe we can get rid of this restoring hit points this way. Maybe the spores constantly heal this thing. Okay. Yeah, so let's get rid of this. Just to keep it a little, we don't want to make them like, it already has a high armor class. You already can't hit it with line spells. We already had something against Fireball in there. Okay. What you're going to do is you're going to target its freak, and it has a good con save. It has a good con save. Okay. Okay. And let's say the spores. Yeah. Unless this effect's happened. It's happened 3 times. Between rests. The Scorpio Beetle regains 1d10 hit points at the start of each's turns. The mushrooms, the fungus. The fungus aids, heals. The fungus has healing properties, yeah. Mends its wounds. Yeah. At AC 18, they're going to trigger that quite a good bit. Which is, yeah. 5 or more. Yeah, and so eventually this effect is going to wear off. Eventually you'll have dusted off all the mushrooms. So maybe we should lower this save. For 20 feet, and that's going to hit everybody too. Yeah, let's lower this. Okay. You know what? You're right. And multi-attack too. So, okay, once per turn. Okay. Once per turn, if the Scorpio Beetle takes fire damage, 5 or more, yeah. 5 or more. The spores that cling to its body release in a sparkling haze. Yep. Creatures in 20 feet. Must make a DC 12 con save or be blinded. Affected creature can repeat the saving throw. End of each. At the end, grammar of each of its subsequent turns, ending the effect on success. Wait a second. An affected and affected creature. Chat, you're sleeping on me. Why did no one catch that? Yeah. 2d10. Fungus mends its wounds. Awesome. Okay, this is fun. This is fun. Okay. Yeah, I think this is a referring to sting its hunters with its sleeping poison. And flee further underground. Awesome. Monstrosity / Fey. I'll give it 2 types. Put that in parentheses. All right. You know what? I'll go back sometime tomorrow and actually clean this all up. Make sure it all makes sense. But yeah, I think this is a pretty fun, I think it's a pretty fun monster, right? It's got a cool story, kind of a unique one. It's a giant bug that lives underground in the Feywild. It's got a magic shell on it that can reflect back magic, which is why people hunt it. And it's used to being hunted, so it likes to flee, it likes to run. It has a tail that will put people to sleep. But it's sort of a unique way, right? They wake up at the end of the, they wake up and then they fall asleep again. So it doesn't permanently put them out of the fight, but it makes them definitely vulnerable. Can I make the editing window a bit bigger? Ooh, that is definitely a question. Hopefully that is better for you. Yeah. Ooh, cool. Yeah, so blah, 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 Scorpio Beetle. We've got its stats right here. It has a low hit point for its thing. You know what? I have to run this through the CR calculator, but if I had to stick a number on it, I would say it's about a CR 9 or 10. Maybe just on instinct. It resists slashing from non-magical weapons. It's got a thick carapace. Language is none. And then it's got this thing. It's sort of like a weak version of the Tarrasques. Right? If you hit with a line spell or magic missile, roll a d6. Sometimes it misses and bounces back harmlessly. Sometimes it rebounds to the caster. And then it has these symbiotic spores. This thing like cuts mushrooms and eats them. Which I think is another like thing that makes this monster kind of unique, right? Like, you're hunting after it, but it's kind of peaceful at the same time. And if you hit these spores, or you miss with a melee weapon, the spores go off as a defense mechanism. It blinds folks. We went with blinding because it was a little bit more magical feeling than like stunning or sleeping or sneezing. Again, there's this narcoleptic stinger, which is sort of the key feature here. Yeah, all in all, I am pretty pleased with this monster. I hope Mike likes it. Yeah, so this stream's going to be up for the next 24 hours. You folks can go ahead, check it all out. And then after that, I'm putting on my $1 Patreon, where there are, I don't know, 30 streams like this, doing all sorts of cool stuff, adventure design, character creation, archetypes, all sorts of good stuff, all for just $1. And hopefully sometime this week, my Zelda video is coming out. So stay tuned for that. And as always, if you have some thoughts on how this monster, worked out, be sure to let me know in the comments below.